Who here has spent money on things they wanted but not necessarily needed? Now silently think, what does successful look like to you? Is it the price tag of your clothes? Is it about the car you drive or even your house size? We live in a consumer society, and we use these types of things to measure our success. I myself have fallen into consumerism. I've spent an unreasonable amount of money on clothes just for the label. I've witnessed friends, family, and our society fall short on being able to balance materialistic things with other values such as friendship, health, family, and spirituality. I have watched this tendency be passed down from parents to their own children. For example, I asked a 7-year-old boy that I nanny for what he wanted to be when he grows up. And he said, I want to be rich and drive a fast car. The problem isn't that people have material things. The problem is that people put a greater focus on materialistic things instead of evenly spreading this focus onto other areas of their life. This prevalent and overbearing materialism in our society causes a lot of problems. It puts strains on our families and relationships. It burdens people with financial issues, and it is detrimental to our own well-being and happiness. When wealth and possessions hold a higher value than spending time with family and working on relationships, issues obviously arise. People who are urged to live an extravagant life with the latest fashion and flashy cars come in hand with being selfish, jealous, greedy, and lustful, and causes people to be workaholics. Instead of spending an afternoon with family and children, one may choose to stay late at work. And when parents begin choosing to stay at work and earning the extra money when it is not necessary, overspending time with family, there are rifts in the family dynamic. A spouse may begin to become frustrated, which could cause an unsteady marriage, and children may begin to lack that parental figure. When people focus on earning more money so that they can buy a nice car, they forget what really matters is their own family. Van Boven's study on exploringmind.com said there's a real social cost to being associated with material possession rather than life experiences. People are losing their friends and families by choosing to rely on things rather than people. Not only does materialism strain families, it distorts the path to happiness. The idea that buying nice things will bring happiness is passed down from generation to generation. And in pursuit of happiness and success, people oftentimes turn towards possessions and money. However, they are oftentimes not met with happiness. Commercialfreechildhood.com stated, children who are more materialistic are less happy, more depressed, and more anxious with lower self-esteem. Research shows that our happiness actually depends more on spiritual nourishment, relationships, and a sense of community. I've witnessed personally, firsthand, that this is true. I went on a mission trip to Mexico, and I was met with people who had virtually nothing, yet they were some of the happiest and loving people I've ever met. This is telling when you find people with much less, but are happier than people that you know here. Along with being detrimental to one's pursuit of happiness, materialism creates a huge strain on people's personal finances. More and more, people are working longer and harder so that they can buy stuff. These are not the necessities, these are the luxuries. ListenMoneyMatters.com brought up the point, if you want a new $1,000 iPhone and you make $20 an hour, you have to work 50 hours, which is a full week of work, 2 days and 2 hours to afford the phone. Looking at this situation at that level may cause people to rethink buying that new fancy phone when they can just use their old one. The American dream has also become more about nice things and stuff. No matter how big our homes are, we always seem to want more. According to MoneyZine.com, the latest statistics from the Federal Reserve indicate consumer debt in the United States continue to increase, reaching nearly $3.9 trillion in July of 2018. It is becoming increasingly popular to splurge using credit cards with money that we don't have on unimportant things, and it is detrimental to our own finances. Materialism is infecting our culture, and it needs to have an end. To stop this plague of superficial wants from overtaking our society, we need to start taking initiative. First, we need to start teaching children that there is more to life than the newest toys. According to Penn State News, today's 9-year-olds are just as materialistic as 14-year-olds. This supports the notion that the effort to mark it down to tween age set is, in a sense, robbing children of their own childhood. Our future generations are learning to be superficial early on, and this needs to stop so that our future society can grow and maintain a healthy balance of values in their life. We need to start educating people on the negative effects of materialism and how to identify if your own life is centered too much around material things. Some people may argue that we need money and work in order to live and to be happy. And this is true on a sense, but it is wrong to think that there's a positive correlation between happiness and money. ListenMoneyMatters.com said, in 2010, a study from Princeton University published citing $75,000 as the annual salary you need a year to be happy. The lower a person makes under that amount, the unhappier they are. But no matter how much that person made over that limit, $1 million, $75 million, $10 billion, they reported no greater degree of happiness than those who were at the sweet spot of $75,000. Some people will argue that our consumerist culture is great. Businesses boom and overall that helps our economy. But we are in a great economy with broken families, people drowning in their own debt, and unhappiness. Smart living and healthy families and happy individuals is more important, in my opinion. If we do not solve our society's worsening materialism problem, imagine what the world would look like. As generations continue and our materialistic values are passed on, each generation may lose touch of the important values. They may not understand that we need community and family and spiritual nourishment. And without these basic values, our future generations will not be able to find genuine happiness, and it will be a chaotic world of people who only value their possessions. The importance of family relationships will diminish, and eventually only greed and fake and shallow happiness will remain. It is simple and easy to do your part in addressing this worsening problem. You can do a simple exercise of writing down things in your life that money can't buy, and use that to gauge your success. You can also make a list of wants versus needs, because wants typically appear to be as needs in our mind. So by thinking it through, you can figure out what things you should actually be buying. If you get the chance and ability to not stay late and maybe even leave work early, take that opportunity and spend it with people that matter. And instead of evaluating life on the basis of how many nice things you have, evaluate life on the cherishable people around you and the things in your life that money cannot buy. Today's society, where it is normalized to buy the newest phone, it is hard to take a step back and realize that things are just things. They are not important and they are not necessary. However, if we do not address this issue in our society, effects will be devastating. If our materialistic society is not cured, our blurred lines between want versus need will continue to put a strain on families and relationships, burden people with personal finance problems, and will be detrimental to people's overall well-being and happiness.